Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got XRP on the hourly here, guys, 27.5. It's trading at 27.5. Not too much difference from yesterday. Okay, and we also got Bitcoin here trending upward as well. We saw a bit of a bump up here for Bitcoin. It went as high as about 11,658. Now trading at about 11,562. But the trend, as you guys can see, coming out of this double bottom and trending upward, at least on the 1 hour chart. Okay, when we put the charts on the daily, we can see not too much has changed. Okay, we're still trading in this range here, both for Bitcoin and for XRP. XRP coming up a bit after correcting a little further down. And not that we needed more confirmation, but I did see this from Mark Phillips, at Mark_Phillips on Twitter. According to Warren Buffett, the US debt isn't going to be repaid. It's going to be refunded, and you better own something other than debt. So it makes you think, guys, I'm going to read you a little bit of this, and we're going to discuss it afterwards. Watching Warren Buffett completely change what he believes about money in a matter of months has been fascinating. He is considered the most successful investor in history, so he's worth listening to when financial markets enter a strange period that nobody understands or can properly explain, even if, like me, you don't love everything he says. These two lines from Warren Buffett made me think. The U.S. debt isn't going to be repaid, it's going to be refunded. And number two, you better own something other than debt. Which means, guys, if you have debt on the books right now, you better clear that up as soon as you can. Buffett explains that when the government can just keep on printing money to pay their own debt, it's laughable to think that they will ever default. He says the trick for countries is to keep borrowing in your own currency. So if money will keep being printed out of thin air, then what does that mean for your investments, assets, and savings? Let's explore the topic in simplistic terms and see what you can do about it. So the most important lesson on how money works from Warren Buffett, this is what Warren Buffett said recently about how money works. That will test everything you thought you knew about money. If the world, and here's a quote, if the world turns into a world where your governments can issue more and more money and have negative interest rates over time, I'd have to see it to believe it, but I've seen a little bit of it. I've been surprised. I've been wrong so far. If you can have negative interest rates and pour out money and incur more and more debt relative to productive capacity, you'd think the world would have discovered it in the first couple of thousand years rather than just coming on it now. We will see. It's probably the most interesting question I've seen in economics. Can you keep doing what we're doing now? The world has been able to do it for a dozen years or so, and he's referring to since 2008. We may be facing a period where we're testing that hypothesis that you can continue it with a lot more force than we've tested it before. This description from Warren Buffett about all the free money we've been getting access to because of the health crisis may explain why Warren has sold a lot of his U.S. bank stocks recently. So this is an important point because do as they do, not as they say. Warren Buffett has recently sold all his bank stocks. He is hedging against the banks. And guys, I reported in a previous video that Warren Buffett is now invested in gold. He doesn't traditionally invest in gold, or rather, a gold mining company. And that would be Barrick's Gold. And so what I was going to say was he doesn't traditionally invest in gold, but he is hedging against the U.S. economy at the moment. Another thing that I found interesting in this article was, where was it now? It was down here. The stock market bubble, so record unemployment, a global health crisis, protests, despite the world we live in, stock markets are beating record highs, crazy or a disaster waiting to happen. Another iconic billionaire investor, George Soros, called the stock market a bubble. Investors are in a bubble fueled by Fed liquidity, he says, and that's why he no longer participates. So, George Soros no longer participating in the stock market, Warren Buffett taking his money and putting it into a gold mining company, which is essentially taking it out of the stock market and hedging his bets on alternative precious metals. This is the S&P 500, guys, and it keeps going higher and higher. It is Sunday today, so the market is not open. But Barrick's, here is the company that Warren Buffett bought into. I'm going to put it to you on, just going to put it on the weekly here, just to kind of give you guys a sense of Barrick Gold Corporation, okay, and how that chart is looking. So Warren Buffett is invested in this company here. Interesting kind of pattern. Gold did take a dip, and then it did take a dip again after the pandemic, just briefly, and then shot back up. So is this smart? Is this prudent? Well, this article from Zero Hedge explains a little more why. Here's why Warren Buffett bailed on banks and bought gold in one simple chart. And it shows you guys a chart down here. Again, I will link all these articles in the description. All this to say, guys, that alternative hedges like gold, like cryptocurrency, they are going to be the ones that investors dump their money into. I mean, they're already dumping their money into these alternative hedges now. Okay, these are things that we have to be paying attention to preserve our wealth. So if you do have money in the stock market, this is not financial advice, but just be careful. I mean, if two of the richest people in the world, Warren Buffett and George Soros, are saying they are not participating in the stock market, doesn't that tell you something? So just real quick here, the combined market capitalization of the universe of U.S. stocks as captured by Wilshire's 5,000 index totaled $36.8 trillion as of Wednesday's close. That amounts to 190% of the $19.4 trillion value of U.S. gross domestic product as of the second quarter. And this chart demonstrates the Buffett indicator, U.S. market cap. And so you guys can see over here, around the dot-com bubble, it was at this high here. Then we saw the burst of the bubble. Came back up here. This is 2008, 2009 collapse. Then it came back down. And we are currently up here. And it looks as though Warren Buffett, he's had his money out of the stock market for a while now. But it just kind of gives you guys a sense of where Warren Buffett is placing his bets. The Buffett indicator. Again, I will link both of these articles in the description, guys. This one especially is a good read. I suggest you read the whole thing. But I want to keep moving along. And I saw this. This is an interesting post. This is from Raoul Paul. If you don't understand why people herd into the same stocks and investments, then take a look at this. Crowd psychology writ large. Jennifer is the Microsoft or Apple of girls' names, it seems. And this is just showing a chart of the popularity of girls' names in the United States over the years. And it's herd mentality, right? When we hear about a good stock or a good investment, people will tend to dump into said stock or investment or cryptocurrency. We saw it with Bitcoin in 2017. We saw it with XRP even in 2017 and early 2018. And guys, this is going to happen again in the next crypto bull run, especially if people feel vulnerable, especially if people are more savvy now than they were even a decade ago with regards to what the Fed is doing, how this is going to affect the dollar, how this is going to affect the bottom line. I mean, the masses still don't understand it, but I think more people are educating themselves, more people are getting onto YouTube, more people are, really trying to understand alternative bets, cryptocurrencies, especially if they've done their research, they'll realize that, cryptocurrencies like XRP, like VeChain, cryptocurrencies that solve problems really will be the future. And you know what? If they invest in those, they got a really good chance of doing something positive with their lives. So anyway, just thought this tweet was interesting with regards to herd mentality specifically. Going to keep moving along though. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. A survey of Argentina citizens shows that 73% believe cryptocurrency is the most effective saving method in the current economic crisis. So this just, again, with the economy, and Argentinians already have some experience with this, strong crypto sentiment in Argentina. So global peer-to-peer Bitcoin marketplace Paxful released the results of a cryptocurrency survey in Argentina on Friday. Argentina's sentiment on cryptocurrency remains strong, with citizens turning to digital assets as a way to hedge against inflation. And guys, of course, I think we're going to see this in the United States as well. Paxful describes. So Argentinians are willing to venture into new forms of investment due to the need to protect the value of their financial savings. This comes as a result of the economic crisis going on in the country. Citing the survey results, the company said it revealed that 73.4% of participants considered that in the current economic scenario, cryptocurrencies are the most effective way to save and protect their funds. 73.4% of people who are facing inflation currently are suggesting cryptocurrencies are the answer. Guys, what is this going to mean for the crypto market? Especially since we are seeing the US dollar lose value every single day. Are we going to see Bitcoin rise? Are we going to see other cryptos rise? This is Bitcoin on the weekly. Okay, this could really help push the crypto market higher, as we're seeing Americans now kind of on the precipice of facing the same kinds of things that we're seeing in Argentina, in Zimbabwe, in Venezuela. There are a lot of countries where currencies have been hyperinflated. Now, that's not to say that the US dollar is going to be hyperinflated, where you have to bring wheelbarrows of money to the store just to buy a loaf of bread, but it just gives you an idea of where people's heads are at. And of course, if this were to happen, once the US dollar loses value, I'm sure it'll be on the news. Cryptocurrency will be everywhere. And of course, companies like Grayscale and Binance UK are getting a head start on those ads. Another one here, guys, from XRP Crypto Wolf. Visa Senior Director of Policy said Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's speech on inflation will be one for the history books. Never in the history of mankind was so much stolen from so many by so few. This is coming from a Visa exec. Okay, this is from Andy Yee. According to the U.S. Federal Reserve, the central bank will be allowing inflation to run up higher than 2%. We read about that a few days ago. The Fed also said that it wouldn't hold a bias towards the labor market, and the central bank will hold to its new policy framework. News.bitcoin.com recently reported on the Fed's inflation proposal and how it aims to leverage the economy's inflation rate. The committee seeks to achieve inflation that averages 2% over time, and therefore judges that following periods when inflation has been running persistently below 2%, the Fed explained on Thursday, appropriate monetary policy will likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time, the central bank added. But Andy Yee is having none of it. Andy Yee, a senior director of policy at Visa, tweeted about the Fed's latest move to let inflation run hotter than usual. Jerome Powell's speech today will be for the history books, Yee said. The Visa executive continued, never in the history of mankind was so much stolen from so many by so few. And then he says, opt out with Bitcoin. So, a Visa executive now also pushing for cryptocurrency. We've got Warren Buffett investing in a mining company, a gold mining company. We've also got George Soros saying, he's not participating in the stock market. Argentinians who are facing a hyperinflated currency are in droves looking into cryptocurrency. And now we've got Visa exec Andy Yee also singing the same praises for cryptocurrency. Well, he says Bitcoin in this article, but Bitcoin's got the name recognition, guys. It won't just be Bitcoin. It will be other cryptocurrencies. And this is why it's good to have a standing if you are invested in a cryptocurrency, and it's top 10 on coinmarketcap.com. These are the cryptocurrencies that at first glance that people will look at, to invest in. Okay, they're top on the list. They must be the most popular, goes the mentality. Not only that, guys, there's this concept called crypto vanity. And I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I've talked a little bit about it. I don't know if it was coined by the Modern Investor, but I did actually hear it from the Modern Investor first a couple of years ago now. And it has to do with this. If you have a certain amount of money and, let's say you have $2,000 you want to invest in cryptocurrency. Well, you look at Bitcoin and you're like, well, 11,500. I can't even get a full Bitcoin. That's a little expensive. Then you go down the list and you look at Ethereum, 405. I can get a couple of Ethereum. But then you look at XRP and you see it's trading at 27 cents. And you think to yourself, boy, look at how high Bitcoin and Ethereum have gone over the years. I can buy so much more XRP with my $2,000. I stand to get even richer. And that's how the mentality goes. It's crypto vanity. You want to have, at least in Bitcoin's case, a full token. So, if you were to invest in Bitcoin, you wouldn't even be able to hold a full one. And with Ethereum, you'd have a few, but with XRP, you'd have so much more. So that's what's called crypto vanity. And I have a feeling more and more money will be pumped into XRP just based on that alone, let alone all the other great reasons why people should be investing in XRP. Crypto vanity is going to be that one once FOMO hits. So that's also something great that we holders can look forward to. Guys, I also saw this from Martin Volk. And Ripple is executing its game plan to expand XRP remittances around the world. So this from a fireside chat with Craig DeWitt recently. Gonna read you his quote here. We have a game plan and we're going to roll out that into multiple jurisdictions around the world. And we're going to escalate the speed with which we're able to do that. I love liquidity. I think liquidity begets liquidity. I think success begets success. And the markets where we're seeing that, we're going to replicate that and grow that footprint and improve people's lives in multiple jurisdictions, not just the Philippines, Europe, and Mexico, but all around the world. So this was with relation to the success that Ripple has been seeing with the US-Mexico remittance corridor. They basically want to replicate that model and push that throughout the world. Ripple partner Bitso, a Mexican crypto exchange, processes 2.5% of remittance payments from the US to Mexico. Bitso recently hit the 1 million customer mark, according to Santiago Alvarado, the exchange's director of cross-border payments. Ripple, known for its high turnover, is also looking to bring on more people as it expands to new corridors, according to DeWitt. He says, I think Ripple really stands out, especially with the work we're doing with Bitso as a company that is actually delivering real utility today that is affecting people's lives in a way outside of just speculative trading. If that's attractive to you, reach out to us because we are so hungry for talent in this space. We're growing so fast, we need people to join that journey and help us do it. So Ripple is currently advertising 22 jobs, and they are looking to continue to expand the ecosystem. Thanks so much, Martin, for posting that. Another one here, guys, from Martin Volk, and just to the point of the Flare network, I have this theory that I want to talk to you about. But Martin points this out. From my point of view, Flare is combining the best of XRP fast settlement, Ethereum smart contracts, and Avalanche for consensus, which helps extend XRP's utility and allows developers to create smart contracts for new use cases. This is from Brad Garlinghouse a few days ago now. We've heard about the Flare network and how they're going to combine all these technologies. We're also really excited because we just want to get our hands on those Spark tokens. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I mean, if you haven't and you are in the XRP community, you probably haven't been following crypto Twitter or any of the YouTube channels recently. But Flare is actually going to be giving away Spark tokens 1-to-1 for every XRP that you hold. So if you have 1,000 XRP, you will get 1,000 Spark tokens. If you have 100,000 XRP, you will get 100,000 Spark tokens. It's going to work that way. How to claim them, you may ask? Well, I did a video on that just the other day, guys. I will link it up here in the description. If you have a Ledger Nano, you can claim them straight from your Ledger Nano. If you don't have a Ledger Nano, you can get one of those. I have a link in the description if you want to use it. You don't have to use it, though. You can also use the Sum app if you want. And BitTrue is actually another possible method for doing that. But I thought this was interesting, and this kind of goes towards the idea of FOMO in the space. Wanted to bring this up from @StraightUpXRP. Expect an XRP price increase when the utility fork happens. Why? And this is actually really quite astute in my opinion. He says, me personally, I will take all my coins and convert them to XRP to receive as many sparks as possible. So let's say you have 50,000 XRP, but you also have 1.5 Bitcoin and maybe, 200 Ethereum and maybe 500,000 VET. I don't know. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. Think of it this way, if you can get more Spark tokens by having more XRP, and this is the line of thinking here, these people will actually liquidate their other positions, so their Bitcoin, their Ethereum, and their VET, and put it into XRP just to claim more Spark tokens, and then transfer those coins back once they've received their Spark to get their Bitcoin, Ethereum, and VET back into their portfolios. He goes on to say, I will also take my savings and put them into XRP until I receive the Spark. Many others will do the same. Guys, I gotta tell you, it crossed my mind to do this. I didn't think of it too much. I want to give credit to Straight Up XRP though for tweeting it out. Maybe it'll give more people the same idea and we could see this huge FOMO run on XRP if that is the case. By the way, guys, this is not financial advice. Only invest as much money as you can afford to lose. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.